Hey, welcome investors and traders to today's unusual option activity video series brought to you by the Market Option app. Today is March 1st, 2022, and we'll go over some of the unusual option activity that our app tracked in our video. For those who are not familiar with unusual option activity is trading of options that is beyond its normal range, as well as multiple other factors where we have built an algorithm that tracks and watches over the option trades in the market and the tape for option flow and flags them as unusual. So these are some of the trades that came in as unusual or seemed unusual to our algorithm. So let's jump in and we'll talk more. Before we dive into more detail, here's a disclaimer. This presentation is for educational purposes only, and this is not investment advice. So let's take a look at some of today's unusual option activity and some of the past as well. So this option was covered in the previous video of unusual option activity. It's been a while since I did some of these. But if we noted unusual call buying in this ticker, which doesn't really trade a lot of option activity, so that came in as unusual to our algorithms. And when we detected this was a few days ago. This is for OVV, which is a hydrocarbon and exploration company based in Delaware, United States, in Denver, United States. And it was founded by one of the largest energy producers of natural gas in Canada. A little background on the company. So this ticker that doesn't really trade a lot of options all of a sudden started trading some options, and our algorithm picked up on that. So when we shared these with you last, these were the unusual options were traded at 0.95 cents. Last time when we shared in the video, they closed 0.93. And where are we today? Just boom, it just exploded. Especially with all the rhetoric they had earnings, and all the rhetoric around Ukraine, around natural gas supply chains. This just really took off, and whoever bought these knew something was happening around the earnings and geopolitical events, and we jumped onto that. And right away, this is a 300%, 350% gain almost, from a $1 to $3.47. So almost 300% gain. These are 45 calls, and the stock closed today at $1.47 and change. So these are now in the money. I'm most likely going to roll these up or even close them out because I'm not very familiar with the sticker. But hey, 300% is more than enough. We'll sell most of it. We'll just leave one or two option contracts on if you have multiple, and go find the next 300% trade. So yeah, just boom, there it goes. That's how you trade unusual option activity, and that's how our app helps you find them. This was another one that I shared in our Discord group today that came through an alert using our mobile app. And when these came in, these were out of the money put sweeps. And these were for April 17, 2022 for $19.50, which is a very expensive option contract for who are not open to such a risk. Regardless, so what we did, we actually didn't go that far out. We bought something that was fairly near term. Say for the ones that are highlighted here, I bought, instead of the 140s in June, I bought March 130 put. And we bought these for around, I think, approximately about $6 to $7, $6.50 to $7. Now, where did they close and end and trade today? They had some earnings, and the stock just really took a deep dive. And the ones that were bought, the 140 puts, they're up 20% at $23.60. And the ones that we bought, they're up almost 75% if you really got in at the low price. We got it slightly higher, so we're only up about 60% on these, but still an amazing trade. Once again, unusual option activity doing the work for you. And just to kind of go back here, you don't necessarily have to follow the exact trade that comes in marked as unusual. You can make adjustments and buy something a little bit closer that might be cheaper, or even go a little bit further out, uh, um, and further out on the strike and buy something cheaper as well. As long as the direction is correct, you don't want to go very further out, because then you will just have theta decay eat up most of your premium. But you can go a little bit further out, or come a little bit closer in terms of expiration, where the premium gets a little bit cheaper and you're still right in the direction of the trade. The stock for this closed actually at 126. So both of these, the 140s and the 130s, these are both in the money, and we will definitely take some profits on these as we go forward. This was another trade that was shared in one of the previous videos. This was a while back. This has been on for a while, and this was this came in as a very unusual trade. 10,000 contracts were traded here for $2.54. Not too expensive, not too cheap either. So we bought this as is. And where are those contracts trading today? These contracts are at $4.20. They're almost up 40%. And if you were able to buy it cheaper, you might be even up 100%. This is not in the money yet. This contract is not in the money, and I still have a ton of time behind it. There's barely trading on e-volume, the open interested holding. However, at 80%, I'm a little bit tempted to take some profits, but there might be still some more upside here. And another good time maybe to take profits is because there is a Fed event tomorrow, and that might make the interest rate move up or down depending on the comments. So might be a good time to take some profits here. So here's some new unusual option activity that came in marked as unusual. 1,000 contracts traded at, and fairly cheap for these are the kind of options you want to trade when you're just getting started with options on a small account and just trying to learn. So these are pretty cheap. $32, so almost like $30 per contract. 1,000 of these were traded. The stock closed at 610, and these are for $6.05. We even had a lot of $6 calls that were traded as well. So this is a little bit risky. However, this is still marked as unusual. It's fairly cheap. If it does continue on, then you end up making decent gains on the premium. So something to watch out for. This is 9 days to expiration, but really cheap. Came in market as unusual. We're definitely gonna nibble at some of these and see what the open interest comes in for tomorrow. But almost 5,000 of these traded, 900 are open interest. Let's see how many hang on tomorrow and continue through. And a lot of talk about being green energy in today's Biden speech might make some of these, some of tickers like FCEL and others move up in tomorrow's session. Here's another one that is fairly cheap, came in marked extremely unusual. PBR, about 8,000 of these came in as a bullish sweep for close to $200,000 in premium for 24 cents. Once again, this has already moved up significantly today, but this is still out of the money and an extremely cheap option that you can trade and keep an eye out for. Once again, a great option for starters. One thing to keep in mind: you don't necessarily always have to trade high value options. You can trade really cheap value options, and our app can help you find them. Just put a filter like, hey, I want anything less than 50 cents in premium per contract, or $1 in premium per contract, and you'll find a wealth of these, like the first one that I showed you, from 0.90 cents all the way to $3, 300%. So you don't necessarily have to trade expensive options if you can't afford it. You can also trade really small options and make decent gains on them with very little risk. And here's one that came in unusual. However, it's still risky because we saw the flow both ways. We saw some bullish flow as well as bearish flow. But what really stands out here is the strike. It's 413. This is way out the money. For this, the S&P has to drop quite a bit. However, it came in after hours at $2.2 million in premium. About 3,000 of these were traded. So it's just something to watch out for with all the geopolitical tensions that are happening in Ukraine. I hope not. I hope we don't fall this fast this soon, but because this is 16 days to expiration, so these expire fairly quickly and will decay as well as volatility shakes out, or if volatility were to decrease, these options value will decrease as well. Right now, volatility is very elevated. This is something that you need to learn when trading options, that even if the even if the stock price moves in your direction, be it bearish or bullish, but if the volatility compresses, the option value will decrease. If the volatility increases and the stock doesn't even move, the option value will increase. Volatility has a lot of impact on the option premium itself. So just a quick lesson there for you in option trading. And that's the last one. Once again, we have great news. After a lot of hard work, our mobile app is finally available for download in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Go to the store and search the keyword market action, most likely without any space, market action, and you should see our app with that logo as shown over here. And please download it, check it out, leave a review, and let us know if you have any feedback. We're pretty new, so we're going to continue improving and adding new features to it. And you can also visit marketaction.live with a link to download the app, as well as sign up for a free trial where you don't only get access in the mobile app, but you also get access in the desktop app as well, with a more larger screen and much more information for you to consume. I also have another series called Pre-Market Morning Bite, where we go over what tickers are moving for the day and any news around them, news events that might impact them. It's a very quick 5 to 10 minutes video that helps you get a quick overview of kind of finding where the market action is, or the pre-market action is, as you start your trading day. Thank you for watching. Once again, please click subscribe and turn on notifications so you will get notified when we create these videos, or as we update some of these unusual option trades as we find them and as we keep track of them. Please, we value any comments. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions or feedback about unusual option activity. We'll be happy to answer them and help you grow. So, once again, thank you for watching, and catch you in our next video. Until then, take care and trade responsibly.